how much we, the Dormans and the Vranes families, appreciate all of you coming and joining us and having and sharing with Nicholas and Dana in their marriage today. Because it was something that it was near and dear to my heart, and I certainly know near and dear to all of you who were here today. I'd also like to thank the Vranes family for the wonderful rehearsal dinner we had last night, for the eloquent words that Bob offered. And I'd like to thank the reverends who conducted the ceremony today. Mark, I felt when you teared up, I thought, you know, good, somebody else is going to cry. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I could do this. And then, lo and behold, Terry's dad gets up and offers prayer, and I just break down right in the middle of that. And so I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how in the world am I ever going to get through this toast? By the way, this is not going to be short, so I'd also like to take a moment and thank Louise. You saved our lives many times this week, and Terry and I want you to know we appreciate your efforts on our behalf. She had to run home to get the bail today this afternoon. That saved my wife from a little bit of heartache, I'll tell you that much. So, you know, what I'd like you to know is, you know, we have already discovered how special Nicholas is. We find it because my wife offered it up one time, and I didn't really notice it. She says he has an innocence about him. He's not been tainted by the negativism of the world or the cynicism of the world. I saw him on the golf course yesterday. We were coming around. We were in like 4 groups. I was coming down 16. He was coming up on 15. And he looks up and he sees me. I don't know how he recognized me from far away. But anyway, he raises his hand and just waves it really big. He's excited to see me. Well, I tell you what, how exciting can that be for me as a future father-in-law? I actually have a son-in-law who's excited to see me. I thought this is awesome. Now, the fact that he plays golf and I love to play golf, well, that's just icing on the cake. Now, the fact he's nagging, you know, this too is a cost I shall bear. But I can tell you, the Aggies are great. You guys share a lot of the common values that we obviously did not have at the University of Texas. But anyway, I tell you, you know, every time I see Nicholas, he comes up, shakes my hand, gives Terry a hug. Mom, Dad, Vranes, what a great job you did raising this son. Now there's my daughter. You know, I can remember when she was 3.5 years old, my wife rarely ever left her alone with me. Rarely. I'm not sure I knew I had kids until she said, here's a soccer ball, sign you up to coach soccer, get ready. But I remember 3.5 years old, I walked into Josh's nursery area. Josh is 6 months old. Dana is cradling him on her lap. And I say to her, now Dana, remember, I don't want you picking him up and carrying him. Because I had visions of her dragging him around like her cabbage patch. And so she looked at me and said, uh-huh. And so I walk out with her back into the kitchen where I'm going. And I'm sitting there, all of a sudden I hear sounds in the next living room. And I walk back in there, and there's Dana in the living room now, which is at least 40 feet from where she was. And I come up here and I say, Dana, I told you not to pick him up and carry him. She looks up at me and she says, I didn't carry him. And I look at her and says, well, young lady, how did he get in here? She looked up at me and she said, I rolled it. I'd sing to her, you are my sunshine, my own sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Now, next what I want you to know is I have given you my daughter's hand in marriage, but I am only sharing my sunshine. Now, I am a child of technology. Where's my iPhone though? Thank you so much. You would think after all that you could remember a small poem with me. Then ode to reality, to keep your marriage brimming with love and a loving touch. Whenever you're wrong, admit it. And whenever you're right, shut up. See, I could not ask for a finer son-in-law. Dana, I could not ask for a finer daughter. I let you go. I lift up my glass tonight and I wish you all the best of life as well. And I really look forward to it.